Hello, everyone. I welcome you all to the session of NCF, that is National Curriculum Framework. So, today, dear educators, dear teachers, we are going to understand what NCF is, that is National Curriculum Framework, guiding the future of education. Towards the end, you may clear your doubts and queries. We will be pasting the link for generating the certificate in the chat box. You will be able to generate the certificates towards the end. What is NCF? First, we need to understand it. So, NCF stands for National Curriculum Framework. It's a guiding document, my dear friends, prepared by NCERT, that is National Council of Education, Research and Training. And it provides a roadmap. It provides us a guideline for how teaching, learning, and assessment should happen or take place in school. It is not a it's not a syllabus, it's not but a framework that sets directions for principle of curriculum design, how the curriculum should be designed, pedagogy, what all ways we can help our students, and how evaluation process should take place in our school. The goal of NCF is to make education more relevant, meaningful, and connected to real life situations. So whatever we are learning, we should be able to apply it in our real life. Now, why NCF is important for teacher? A big question. So now we will explore. For teachers, NCF is very, very important, my dear friends, because it guides us how to teach, what to emphasize, and what to teach, and how to assess our students, and how should we able to understand whether a child has actually understood the concept or not, whether the concept is taken home or not. It helps us to move away from rote learning, the previous methods, towards competency based and student centered learning. So it's more of student centered. NCF also guides teachers and helps them to be more flexible. It adds creativity, like teachers can use flexible methods in order to help their student, making classroom more inclusive. When I'm using the word inclusive, it means everyone is included in our class, right, and more joyful. In short, it acts as a compass for the teacher. It helps us, it guides us. We need to follow the guidelines, the roadmap, and then we will be able to achieve what NCF and NEP suggest us. Link between NEP 2020 and NCF. Is there a relationship between NEP 2020 and NCF? Of course, yes. NEP 2020 gives the vision for transforming. It has the vision that how we can transform the education system in our country, in India, and to bring this vision into practice, 4 new curriculum frameworks have been developed. First was for school education, then for early childhood care and education, teachers education, because if we as teachers will not be updated, we will not be able to follow the guidelines developed by NCF. And next is adult education. So 4 things it has considered into account, where NEP 2020 tells us what needs to be changed, right? NCF shows how to bring that change. It gives us the direction of how to bring that change in the actual classroom situation. Now, framework, we already have understood that it's a framework, and it guides us regarding the curriculum, what we have to teach, regarding the pedagogy, what all methods we can apply in our daily classroom scenario or situation, and how assessment should be carried. And for that, NCF has worked really hard. It has consulted with the teachers, with the stakeholders, with the experts, and then it has provided us the roadmap. It's developed by NCERT, that is National Council of Research, Education, Research and Training, right? After consultation with experts, with teachers, with parents, and with the stakeholders, because we actually uh, have to apply in a real classroom situation. So considering the opinion and taking the feedback of each and every individual is very important. It makes sure that the framework reflects the need of the society, what actually the society needs. It's based on them. meant to align with the 21st century skill. Now, what are these 21st century skill? There are four basic 21st century skill and which we call as 4 C's. What is that? It's collaboration, creativity, communication, and critical thinking. Apart from that, digital literacy is also very, very important. So, all these things are taken into consideration so that overall growth of the individual can take place. Now, types of NCF 22 onwards, we will discuss. Now, as you can see in my slide, my dear educators, my dear teachers, NCF for school education, NCF SE. So, it as the word suggests, it's for school education. This framework guides everything related to school education, that is from class 1 to class 12. Everything will be mentioned in it. It tells us what students should learn at different stages, teaching approaches which we can follow in our actual classroom situation, how we can make our learning more joyful, more engaging, and more connected to real life situation. So these are the important factors which it has taken into consideration. NCF for early childhood care and education before the child enters the formal schooling. So NCF ECCE, early childhood care and education. So it should be very, very clear to each one of us. The early years, that is from 3 years to 6 years, my dear friends, they are very important for the child's development. And these are the years when we have to take care of the child's development and growth. The framework focuses on play-based learning, activity-based learning, helping children to develop basic language. The child should learn basic language, numeracy, motor skills, means the muscles, right? Motor skills, social emotional skills, that children enter school with a strong foundation. When a child is actually entering a formal school atmosphere, the child should be thorough with each and everything. NCF for teachers education. For teachers education, NCF has taken consideration that teachers should also be equipped with the latest knowledge, and for that teachers are lifelong learners. Our learning never stops. The framework is meant for preparing teachers. It focuses on developing teachers as facilitators, mentors, guides, and lifelong learners. So we are lifelong learner. It guides teacher training program, which we all are going through. Professional development program are very, very necessary in order to upskill ourselves, in order to know the latest curriculum and the pedagogy. And we should be we should be very, very sound, because it's very important. NCF for adult education. Now, a big question, why for adult education? Because it has considered everyone into account. So learning does not stop at school only. Now, there are people, like there are adults who did not went for formal education, who did not got the opportunity or the privilege. Now, in order that they should become literate, opportunities are being provided to them. And how opportunities are being provided? They can learn digital skill, they can learn vocational skills, which will be very, very helpful for them in their life. It supports the idea of lifelong learning for everyone, means we all can learn throughout our life. Now, what are the key objectives of NCF, National Curriculum Framework? Promote holistic development, overall development, 360 development. Not only the knowledge factor, but the other factors are also taken into consideration, my dear friends. The key objective of NCF is to promote holistic development. Education is not just about marks or knowledge, that we are moving from one class to another class. It's about developing the child's mind, the child's body, and character, adding values also. Our government is talking a lot about value education, about the social, physical, and moral growth of the child. A balanced education helps child to become more confident and useful learners for our society, and they can contribute a lot to our society. Integrates knowledge, skill, values, and life skill. Now, integrate means adding, right? So knowledge was one factor in the previous system of education. Now knowledge is very very important, development of skill, values and life skill, it's promoting that also. NCF emphasizes that learning should not be limited to subject alone, it should add knowledge, skills, the child should learn skill, right? Kaushal Bodh, we are hearing a lot. Values, what are the values of our country, right? Ensure inclusivity and equity. Another important objective is inclusiveness, means everyone should be included, everyone should be given the opportunity or the privilege, whatever the background of the child or the learner may be, whatever the gender may be, whatever the religion may be, whatever the culture may be, right? NCF guides teachers to adopt flexible method as per our learners, prepare learners for lifelong learning. It's not only adding knowledge, because it's adding skills, values, and life skills. So it's preparing learner for lifelong, who can contribute to our economy, to our society, and for our country. Now, major highlights of NCF. What are the major highlights of NCF? Shift from rote learning to competency based learning. Right? Earlier, the learning system was rote learning, mugging up. Now it's competency based. The child needs to use his or her brain in order to answer. So, this is one major highlight of NCF, where students apply knowledge, develop skill, and demonstrate their understanding in real situation of life. Flexibility in curriculum and pedagogy is another important key factor, major highlight of NCF, right? It's both for the teachers as well as for the learners, that is for the students. Teacher can adopt flexible method as per the requirement of the learner, right? So that the child is able to understand, the concept is driven home. Multilingualism and respect for local culture. Recently, a circular came of CBSE regarding the 3 R's. Multilingualism is very, very important, because it is believed that a child learns better in his or her mother tongue, right? So, at the early years, multilingualism, NCF respects local traditions, culture, making education more rooted, more grounded, and the child can relate it with the real life situation. Now, integration of art, sport, and vocational education. Now, integration means putting all these things, right? Earlier, it was only knowledge. Now, if a child is not good in study, he can show his or her talent in the field of art, in the field of sports, in the field of vocational education, whatever he or she feel like. So NCF has considered this also into account. Emphasizes on experiential and inquiry based learning. Experiential learning, the child is actually experiencing, inquiry, thoughtfulness, more of questions. This means children learn by doing, exploring, questioning, and experimenting. The Instead of being passive learners, when they are actively involved, they become active learners. They have curiosity and they ask as many questions which come in their mind, and it adds on to their knowledge, my dear friend. Curriculum and pedagogy changes. Now there are curriculum changes and pedagogy. The method of teaching also focuses on conceptual understanding. The concept should be taken home, right? The new curriculum and pedagogy place strong emphasis on conceptual understanding. Instead of memorizing the things, the child should actually understand. Interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary means one subject can be clubbed with another subject. Like once, while I was teaching about Albert Einstein. So though it was an English chapter, but lot many things related to physics were also there. So it's interdisciplinary. Reason being, the child is learning about science also, right? And in such situation, collaboration with our teammates or the other teachers or other educators is very, very important, right? And a child learns much more and beyond the textbooks also. Student centric and activity based approach. Earlier it was teacher centric. Whatever we used to deliver, we used to just deliver the content. Now it's student center. We are just facilitators, my dear friends, right? And we are helping the student, we are guiding the children, and the child explore by his or her own ways. The pedagogy shifts from from teacher centered to student centered. Children learn best when they are actively involved. Activity based learning, it can be through projects, it can be through group discussion, it can be through role plays and experiments, which makes our classroom much more engaging and joyful, because at the end of the day, it should be a happy classroom. Right? Reduces content load. The content load is being reduced and deeper understanding is always insisted. The child, if understands, will be able to solve any question in his or her life in the real based situation. Now, assessment reforms, if we are talking about, right? Competency based and continuous assessment. NCF talks a lot about competency based assessments. Now, what are they? It does not focus on marks. It focuses on that the child should actually understand the concept. It means that assessments are designed to measure whether students have actually learned or not. We do not give the textbook question that the child marks up or learns and then he is answering. The child should actually analyze, think, and then answer. Right? Emphasizes on learning outcomes. So, what are the learning outcomes? What the child actually learned? That should be taken into consideration. Right? Now, let's talk about progressive, holistic progress card, right? Means overall development. Similar to NEP, NCF also promote holistic progress card. It means it will not only consider subject knowledge, it will consider the overall performance of a child, whether it's related to skill, whether it's related to creativity, whether it's related to co-curricular activities. So all these things are taken into consideration. Now, feedback focused system, right? So what is feedback focused system? Where we as educators are always giving our valuable input, the constructive feedback to the child, to the parent, and it's happening throughout the year so that the child can improve upon the areas where he or she is lagging. And we as educators are able to understand what specific pedagogy or method we should apply so that our learning becomes more joyful, more fruitful, and the concept is taken home. Now, role of teacher in NCF implementation, curriculum design at classroom level. Now, we educators have an important role. So, we can redesign, keeping the thought process in mind that we have to follow the guidelines of the NCF. We have to follow the framework and we can change as per our convenience, right? This means adapting lessons to make them meaningful, practical, and connected with the real life situation of life in the classroom. Using flexible pedagogy. Flexible pedagogy means there is not one specific pedagogy method which we can follow or which we should follow. As per the requirement of the learners, we can change the pedagogy. That is the method, right? We can use project method. We can go for experiential learning. We can go for experiments. It can be classroom discussions. In whatever way the child, the learner understand more, we should follow that. Adopting inclusive practices. Again, the word inclusive. Inclusive means everyone is taken into consideration. Creating an inclusive classroom is very, very essential. Teachers should ensure that children are from various backgrounds. We have a heterogeneous class, right? We have different type of learners and they have different learning abilities also. So everyone is welcomed warmly, right? And we are giving opportunities to everyone. Lifelong learning and professional development for the educators is a must. We all know that, right? NCF highlights the importance of lifelong learning. We as teachers, we are as educators, are lifelong learners. We are learning throughout our life in order to upskill ourselves, in order to keep ourselves updated with the latest pedagogy, right? So professional development, workshops, seminars, webinars, etc. are very, very important. When we hear from others, we add a lot of knowledge and it becomes very easy, very convenient for us to handle our real classroom situation. Opportunities and challenges. With everything, there are several opportunities which come on our way. At the same time, we teachers face a lot many challenges. Now, what are the opportunities? First of all, creativity. NCF has given us the power to change the curriculum as per our desire, keeping our view aligned with the framework, right? Teachers can design Teachers can design lesson using innovative methods, projects and activities. So whatever is more innovative, we can use that. Autonomy means we have power, we have more freedom of adapting curriculum and teaching methods to need diverse learners. There are different type of learners and we can follow that thing in our classroom. Professional growth, ways, right? So professional growth is very, very important. That's why we join the CBP programs in order to upskill ourselves. Now, what are the challenges? Training needs are still limited. Adapting to new methods, digital divine. See, mindset is role. We are with the rote memorization method. So it needs a little more time and little more space. Teachers need proper guidance. I hope each one of you will agree to it, right? And training so that we can know adapting to new methods, right? That is shift from traditional learning to competency based learning requires mindset and time also. Now, digital divine, we all are not digitally sound, right? We need to upskill ourselves, right? So digital updation is very, very important. And how we can overcome these challenges. First is collaboration. We need to collaborate with our teammates. Peer support is very, very important, right? Peer support can be through colleagues, through experiences or and best practices of other people. Like I have learned a lot many things from my team members. Capacity building program, right? Very, very important. Participating in workshop, webinars, professional development programs, strengthen our confidence. It adds a lot of knowledge in us and we are able to handle the day-to-day situation with ease. Practical classroom implications, right? So applying NCF principles in daily teaching. NCF is a framework, but its success depend on the educators, right? Teachers can take small meaningful steps. When we as educators, we as teachers will not take meaningful steps, so we will not be able to do justice with NCF. So our contribution is very, very important, right? Project based learning, blended learning and formative assessment. So what all we can do, one way of implementing NCF is through project based learning. Like instead of teaching science through only the book, what we can do, we can give them small experiment, we can give them a project that encourages critical thinking. Now critical thinking is very, very important. The child needs to analyze. We teachers need, like you have coconut water and a soft drink. Now critically you need to think which one is more helpful for your health. So critical thinking, right? Collaboration, team building is very, very important. Blended learning, teachers can use blended learning, combining online and offline method of teaching, right? Using videos, using simulation apps, which obviously upskill us, which makes students understand the concept in a better manner. The approach makes learning flexible, uh, interactive, and the child happily learns. Building joyful and inclusive classroom. See, we are helping all the students, all the learners in our class. So if it's an inclusive classroom, everyone is given attention. Every question is warmly welcomed. It will be a happy and a joyful classroom. Finally, practical implementation also means creating joyful and inclusive classroom, which I have already discussed. So for that, what we can do, storytelling, group work, different type of thoughts will come in, in front of us. Critical thinking will enhance and it will make our learning more of active rather than passive, right? And if everyone is warmly welcomed, what happened? They feel motivated, children feel confident, they feel that they are welcome, and they will be better communication, which is very important skill nowadays. Now, moving ahead, teacher are center for its success. Yes, it's very, very true that the success of NCF lies in the hand of us as educators. So, NCF is not just a document, it guides us. We need to follow it religiously in our classroom situation so that we are updated and we are able to give our best to our students. We are no more teachers, we are educators, we are facilitators, we are mentors, right? We cannot do the hand holding each and every time, right? Children need to use their critical thinking, analytical thinking in order to deal with the daily, day to day situation and applying NCF in actual life situation. When curriculum is flexible and teachers are empowered, students truly thrive. Very true, my dear friends. So, curriculum has given us, NCF has given us the liberty that we can be flexible, right? And it has empowered us as well as the students, because we can learn by applying different approaches in our life, and in and our learning will be more joyful, it will be much more better, the concept will be taken home, my dear friends. Now I want to thank each one of you for joining me today. Hope this session was fruitful. If you wish to ask anything specific, you can paste your questions in the chat box. You can also ask me. Feel free to clear your doubts. Have a good day ahead. I Now I'm stopped sharing my content, and I hope you will be comfortable in asking questions. Now I would request ma'am to kindly paste the link for the certificate in the chat box.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. I've pasted it.
Anyone having any specific question, please clear your doubts and queries.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, sir.
What is competency-based assessment?
Sir, competency based assessment is where the child actually, suppose we are going through a chapter, whether it's English or social science on any other subject. Earlier, there were a few questions in the book which we as educators used to give, right? Now, the child needs to think, the child needs to explore, the child needs to understand, right? So, we are framing competency based questions which we are giving to the child, and the child is using his or her own knowledge, analyzing after going through the chapter, and he or she is answering, right? So it adds on to the knowledge and the concept is driven home, is taken home.
Thank you, ma'am.
Sir, your voice is breaking.
Yes, sir. Any questions from other participants? You can unmute yourselves and you can ask the questions. And I
I'm
have
sharing my
taken
number also. It's 9958 237 262. In case the meeting is over, you can forward your personal queries on my number. I will surely love to answer your queries. If there is any other question, you may ask.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Ma'am, there was a query that what changes in assessment does NCF propose?
Okay, very nice question. I believe Pooja ma'am, right? Good afternoon. First of all, it shifts from rote learning. Earlier, it was rote learning, ma'am. Now, it's more of thoughtfulness. It's more of competency-based assessment, right? Now, continuous and formative assessments are there. We are continuously assessing our child. We are able to understand where to guide our learner, right? We can adopt flexible pedagogy as per the requirement of the learner. It focuses more on understanding and application, whether the child has actually learned or not, right? And it's add real knowledge in the child, which the child can apply in his or her life in real life situation. It's not only confined to books, my dear friends.
I'm pasting the
Ma'am,
link again one more time, dear audience. Just go through it, and anyone is interested in the certificate, you can fill up the form, and it will be submitted to Miss Noopur, and she can issue the certificates.
Now,
Over to
in
you.
case anyone is not able to generate the certificate, don't feel worried. I'm always there to assist you, help you out, because I have shared my number. Ma'am, if possible, kindly share my number
Yes,
in the
please.
chat box
Can you please
so that they can get back to me and they will be able to get the certificate. So don't worry at all.
Sure. Please provide the contact number of yours, please. Thank you.
It's 9958 237 262. Any other question?
9958
262.
262. Okay.
Noopur Majumdar.
Audience, please note the number too. And I have pasted the form link too. Please use that link for the certificate, or as ma'am mentioned, that you can send a message to her. She can send you the certificates. Thank you. Any
Now,
other questions?
May I speak, ma'am?
Yes.
Now, one question I saw in the chat box related to simulations, right? So what the teacher can do is organizing Lok Sabha session, passing a bill. So if a child practically learns and understand these things, there can be debate also, right? So it will help the learner to become an active learner instead of a passive learner. I hope the query is addressed properly and it's clear, ma'am.
Miss Ishita has one question. She's asking, good afternoon, will the certificate be mailed? I think
Yes,
you have
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You will, whatever email ID you will be mentioning, you will be able to generate the certificate instantly. Anyhow, if there is any inconvenience, I'm always there to help you out.
For your convenience, I'm pasting the link again.
Right, ma'am.
Any other questions from any other audience? Please feel free to unmute yourselves and ask Ms. Noopur if any question is there.
Request you all to clear your queries because we learn from each other. I am also an eager learner like you people only. If you will be asking me question, it will be helping me also. And at the end, request you to kindly give me an honest feedback so that I can improve upon the areas, add on more to myself so that I can help you out. I believe someone wants to ask something.
Yes, please go ahead. You can unmute yourself.
I think it's Pooja, ma'am.
ma'am, I
Oh,
want to ask that will this changes increase the teacher's workload?
ma'am, can I hear the question again because your voice is breaking?
Ma'am, will these changes increase the teacher's workload?
Very good question, ma'am. Initially, yes. Yes, it will increase the teacher's workload because of the mindset, because we were in the habit of rote memorization. We acted as teachers, now we are facilitators. So initially, adapting something new takes mindset a little more time, but we are lifelong learners and it NCA promote lifelong learners and it makes our learning more meaningful. So then gradually it will not. So initially a change always adds pressure. So but then it becomes fun, it will make you happy and your learners will be happy, ma'am.
Ms. Noopur, you have another question related to the subject history. I think you can see the question.
Yes, ma'am.
Which
Just
one?
a second. Let me check.
Yeah.
Okay. So see whether it's the Dandi March or whether it's the Quiet India movement or whether it's Swadeshi boycott, Swadeshi movement, boycott activity, all these things we can do in our real classroom situation. And of course, collaboration with your colleagues, with peers, it will help you to add on knowledge. Students become more active learner, right? Students can become historical personalities, like whether it's Mahatma Gandhi, whether it's Bhagat Singh, whether it's Rani Lakshmi Bai. They feel they enjoy such type of things, right? And if we talk about the medieval period also, then if we talk about the kings and the queens of that duration, the traders, the soldiers, so when actually the child is performing, it helps to add that knowledge. The child remember that things very easily. And you as facilitator also learn a lot from your students, right? So partition of our country, that also helps us, right? So what were the refugee camps? If you discuss it and if you ask the student to do or the stage play or the role play in the class, they will be able to perform it at ease. They will enjoy it. The concept will be driven home. So whatever you knowledge is one thing, but actually when the child is involved, when the child is experiencing, it will help you as well as the learner to become more active learner.
Mr. Venujaga has a question, ma'am. Can you please attend it?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Just a second. Let me check. Ma'am, I cannot see the question.
Mr. Venujaga.
Yes.
He's asking about the certificate, whether he can receive it. Just a second, let me scroll down. So many participants, lovely sessions, Noopur. Yes, just a second.
Anyhow, if the session will get over, don't worry at all.
Yes.
We are always
Okay.
there to help each other.
Yes.
So,
Another question regarding the form, ma'am. I have filled the Google form. How will I generate my certificate is the question from Oppo.
so
Yeah.
ma'am, as and when you will be submitting the Google form, within 1 second, you will be able to get the certificate in your mailbox, the email ID which you have provided. Anyhow, sometimes our mailbox is filled, so you need to delete certain mails so that the certificate can come in your box. Not received, no need to worry, sir. Just you can message me individually and I will help you out. Sometimes, because lot many people are generating, might take at least 5 minutes. So nothing to worry about, sir. You will surely get it. You have my personal number also. You can message me in case you are not getting it.
So they're asking about the PPT too.
You want the PPT to be shared with you all.
Yeah.
For that, teachers, educators, my dear friends, we need to form a group. If ma'am will be making a group and you can share your personal numbers with me, I can make a group and I can share the PPT with you all.
Yeah, that would be better maybe
because you people have my number with your name. Please forward with your name, your number. I will be forming a group and I will be sharing my PPT with you all. I think it will be easy, convenient for us to refer as and when required.
Thanks.
Moreover, I keep on conducting webinars. So if you wish to join, you can join with that group also. That will be helpful for you people. I
Great.
believe somebody wants to ask question.
Yes, Miss Dimple. Miss Dimple. Yeah, please unmute yourself, Miss Dimple. In so long. Okay, Miss Suchitra has joined too. So if anyone needs the number again, I would put the number here again. Ma'am, can you repeat your number?
Yes, ma'am. Sure. It's Noopur Majumdar.
Yeah.
My number is 995837.
You're breaking.
I'm repeating again. 995827
Just a second.
262.
Just a second. Can you come again?
99
99
58
58
237
237
262.
262. Request the
Nine.
audience to please copy the number 9958237262.
Right, ma'am. You can
Right.
follow me on my YouTube channel. It's Navigate Mindfully. And
Navigate. Okay.
mindfully, you can follow me on my Insta, that is mindfully_navigate, for the upcoming webinars and the update related with CBSE or our curriculum or any other change which we educators need to know.
So that's all, Ms. Noopur. Because of the time constraint, I need to end this session now. I thank all the participants and the lovely questions. And Ms. Noopur, it was a wonderful session. I'm 100% sure that the attendees have gained, good information with this session. And I would like to end the session now. Before I end the session, anything else you want to share, Ms. Noopur, on our platform?
No, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for giving me the opportunity. And I have also learned a lot from the participants. So be in touch, stay connected for more updates. Thank you so much, each one of you, and ma'am, to you also, for giving me the
Thank you.
chance, the opportunity. Have a good day ahead.
You too, ma'am. Thank you.